Thank you, everyone, for joining us. If you're watching live or watching the replay, grab yourself a cuppa, get yourself organised, maybe grab notes and a pen and notepad. We're talking about peptides, hormones, inflammation, gut health, premature aging, pain, and more. For those who don't know me, my name is Rhonda Muller. I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother. They call me Baba, I'm Babushka. A functional nutritional therapist, education consultant, and the founder of ASD Healthy Life. I've been working in this space since 2009, and I'm based in Mackay, North Queensland, Australia. I mainly work with women and children, but nothing against the guys, but if we're really being honest, it's usually us women who are steering the health ship in regards to, steering the information. We're doing the shopping, we're feeding the families, all these types of things. So it's always about education and empowering. And my lens has always been, I'm not interested in band-aid solutions. I'm not interested in just managing the symptoms. I'm always looking at what's underlying, why these things are happening. I used to drive my mother insane, always asking why. Can you relate to that? If you've got kids or grandkids, you can probably relate, right? If things don't add up, I always always ask why. If families are handed a script, an injection, instead of answers, instead of looking deeper, what's underlying? And so for years in clinic, I've supported families the long way around, getting results, don't get me wrong, but, looking at gut repair, hormones, inflammation, mental health, pediatric special needs. That's why I initially got started. And we were seeing great results, but it was very layered and often slow. And by the time people actually found me,
Definitely not pregnant.
they were already exhausted. Yes? We'll just make sure everyone's muted, please, Donna. They were exhausted by the time they found me. And then 7 years ago, something shifted. First in my own home and then in clinic. And since incorporating this different level of support, this different approach, I've watched thousands of families go from surviving to thriving. So we're just talking about this, what's underlying. When you address what's harming, replenish with what's healing, and you calm inflammatory loads, and you start really looking at the proteins, enzymes, peptides, internal pathways, that cellular health within us, the body will respond in ways most people aren't expecting. And that's what we're unpacking today. So that's enough from me. I'm so grateful to have, and I hope I'm saying this correctly, Dr. Jessica Bueller with us. I actually initially heard Dr. Bueller speak at a conference that I attended over in the US. And she was talking peptides back then. She was talking hormones. And I knew immediately I like this woman. She's talking on my terms, very holistic, very natural. Jess is married to Matt, has 5 children, I believe, and her own clinic over in the US. And yet she is exceptionally curious, like me, looking for ways to improve health naturally, very passionate about educating and empowering others to take control of their own health. And so enough from me. So Dr. Jess, if we can start at the beginning, can you tell us briefly who you are, where you're from, and a bit about your background, what you do?
Yes, of course. Thank you for the intro and thank you all for getting on here. I'm really glad someone took the time to invite you here. And I hope when you get done, you'll at least have something that's making you a little curious about what this might do for you or someone you know or love or care about. So I am a chiropractor. I also have certifications in acupuncture and an allergy technique called NAET. And I am, like she said, intentionally curious. I was super nerdy. I'm sure you're probably other than surprised. I graduated at the top of my class from high school and college and grad school. I have a banker's box, and I'm not even joking, an actual banker's box filled with the studies and patents on the flagship product that that the activation company has, Protandim Nrf2. It starts with yellow. And that yellow filled more than that box. It filled my mind. And I kept thinking about all the people that it could possibly help. And that was 9 years ago this month. I've been humbled to serve on the scientific advisory board for this company for the past 2 years. And I have a waiting list practice. I have an associate doctor now, so that has gotten better as well. But I love what I do. We have 5 kids. Life is busy. My husband is a farmer, and like Rhonda said, I love getting back to the root of things. Like, what can we do to empower your body? Because your body is so innately intelligent and was designed perfectly. And we are just constantly bombarded with things. So we have to have better tools than our parents did, better tools than our grandparents did. And when this came into my life, what I saw was a breakthrough. It was something that even in all the studies I had done so far, I had never seen anything like it, and I still have yet to see anything like it. We're the only activation company on in the world, and there are thousands of supplement companies, and now the biggest buzz we have are peptide companies. But all of those things are still looking to fill up what I would consider an empty cup or a low cup. If you just think of it like you have a cup of water and the glass is like a quarter full. When you're supplementing, or whether you do that in a pill form or a drink form or an injectable, you're looking at filling up a lower cup. And with activation, we're looking to create that self-fulfilling cup. The cup just keeps filling up on its own because it's designed to be full. And I love that it's using God's pharmacy to turn on God's pharmacy inside our cells. So it's definitely the same concepts you've maybe heard if you've been here for a while, that idea of taking something so that your body makes something instead of just taking something. And if this is the first time you've heard that, because it was the first time I heard it 9 years ago, and I read the studies, and then I watched a few videos. Maybe I'll watched a video or two, right? And then I started calling my colleagues, and I'm like, "Have you heard of this? Have you heard of this? Have you heard of this?" And no one had heard of it. You guys, it's like the best kept secret. People keep saying this, the best kept secret, but we really need a lot more voices telling people about this, because no matter what else you're doing, and I mean anything, any self-care you're doing right now, it's going to be better if you're activated. And I 100% believe that to my core. And my absolute two favorite activators are Protandim NRF2 and our liquid collagen. And so if this is your first time here and this is the first time you're getting to see these, like, let me introduce you to your next two BFFs. I like to call this the chiropractor's BFF, and it literally is the chiropractor's best friend. And so I'm going to just give a couple of stories and just what I've seen, some of the things I've seen in practice with this and why I started calling it that. When I first started 9 years ago, we didn't have the liquid, we had Protandim. We've had this guy, but we didn't have this liquid collagen. We had this one. And I saw a ton of amazing changes with this. So maybe I'll even start with just a few stories with just this guy on board, because this turns on your antioxidant response system in your genes. So you start making antioxidant enzymes, things you've heard about, you guys. Glutathione, superoxide dismutase, catalase, antioxidants. These neutralize free radicals. What does that mean? Well, when you look up what's kind of equivalent in our body, or words that are familiar, things you've heard of, oxidative stress is most closely synonymous to inflammation or damage to our cells. So when we turn this on, it's the most potent antioxidant producing pathway, but also anti-inflammatory, detoxification, anti-fibrotic, anti-tumor forming, anti-cancer forming pathway in the body. Am I saying this is the cure for any symptom, condition, or disease? Absolutely 100% no. because I have zero interest in being one of those things. We're looking back to the cells. And if you've listened to me talk before, you've heard me say this, but when we can make healthy cells will make healthy tissues will make healthy organs, and healthy organs will make healthy organ systems. And when we have healthy systems in our body, we have healthy humans. And so all we have to do is get back to the health of the cells. And this is just the start. It's the foundation. And we say it starts with yellow. This is a blue bottle. I know I am other than colorblind. The pill itself is actually yellow. So if you've never seen one, it is yellow. So this is why we say it starts with yellow, and it's in a blue bottle. Um, but this product literally is just so life changing for people. Just think about this. Like, I like to think of it like, every decade we age, we start to accumulate more toxins in our body. And every decade we create more chemicals that are toxic to the human body as well. So you're having more accumulate, and they're making more of them, and you're getting worse at getting rid of them the older you get every decade. So how you recovered when you're 20 is not going to be as good as it was when you were 30, and when you're 40 it's not as good as when you were 30, and so forth. Every decade you're going to see this happening, right? And this literally goes inside your cells. It's like the garbage crew after a hurricane. Imagine there's a hurricane in your cells, and you can just go in and clean up the garbage and let those cells function again. That is this guy. So what are the things I saw when I first started using this? And things were subtle things that are massively impressive. Things like sleeping better, sleeping through the night, having more energy, recovering faster from exercise. Like in me personally, it was my hair. My hair started growing back. I was normal in labs. I was normal on labs, right? Normal on the paper. But my hair was falling out. I'd had 4 babies at the time, but it had been almost 2 years since I'd had a baby. But some hormone balance, right? Some things started balancing even a little bit more than what my labs were showing, but my hair started growing back, thicker again, and my hairstylist noticed. I was waking up before my alarm went off, full of energy. And then when I added in the brain drink we had with this, oh my goodness, I did my first workout and like crushed it. If you're familiar with any Beachbody workouts, I don't know if anybody's a Beachbody fan, but they had a workout where you basically maxed out. Like the goal was you were going to have to only go so far before you'd have to tap out, right? And I made it through the whole workout, and I was like, what just happened? And realized it was that brain drink on board, along with this guy. So, but sleep, energy, recovery, just those little subtle shifts that start to happen when your body is getting rid of stuff a little bit better than it was before. So that was this guy. And then when we got this, I actually was like, oh yeah, collagen. I've recommended that, like kind of off and on, see changes in hair, skin, and nails, right? Anybody thought that? Maybe this is just a little cosmetic little dude, collagen in general, or maybe you're taking it and you're like, meh, I don't know. Sometimes changes, sometimes not. And then this came along with this. And within the first month, I was having people text me. And do you know what they first text me about? It wasn't about their recovery. It wasn't about their hair or their skin or their wrinkles. It was none of that. It was about changes in the bedroom in themselves or their spouse. And it was also about not getting up in the middle of the night to go pee. Or getting up in the middle of the night less times. And you know who had to do some research on that? Yep, me. What was the reason for that? And then we came out with the study of these two. And you could see what happens is we decrease the stress in our bodies by a third and increase our collagen density by double when you take the two at the same time. We now have a patent to prove that even further. But what happens is, with this, we turn on the antioxidant response system. We can see the specific genes it impacts as far as detox, inflammation, oxidative stress, that kind of stuff. And this, of course, collagen, it's not just supplementing for collagen, it's turning on the little collagen factories inside your cells. So you start making your own collagen again, take it to make it. And then it also turns on the gene that slows down our collagen degradation. So we stop breaking it down so quickly. That's on its own. But together, it's entirely different. A whole nother set of genes are impacted. And those are, when you look at our patent, it says to activate the innate inflammatory pathways. Oh my goodness, you guys. If this is the first time you've ever heard of that, like, let me just tell you, this is the cat's meow. You would love every person you love and care about to be on this, like for the rest of their lives, 100%. So, those pathways, when you look at them, it's the major stress pathway in the body. What if you could help somebody to have 33% less stress? It's estimated 75% of the population thinks they have severe stress, and 75 to 90% of those people are stressed due to finances. Finances. And if you could just, like, honestly, if you can fall in love with these products and you're willing to have the courage to tell somebody about them, that you could help more than your health here. You could share this with people and have another stream of income that's coming in as well. Okay, so changes in the bedroom, not getting up in the night to pee. Those were my first two testimonies for the first month. But we told everyone, take pictures. If you're over 20, take pictures of everything: your face, your hair, your skin, your cellulite, your scars, your rashes, anything on your skin, moles, warts, all the stuff. And guess what started happening? Those exterior things started changing too. It was like tone, tighten, lift, no matter where it is. Your butt, your back, your boobs, your face, all your things. They were seeing it on the outside. And of course, the same things happening on the inside. And this is infecting all of your linings. So you've got hair, skin, and nails, definitely, but you've got the fascia, you've got your gut lining, you've got your stomach lining, your lung lining, all of the things. And then what happened to us in 2019? Do you guys all remember pre-2019 and the stress levels through the roof? And what did those little spike proteins like to attach to? The collagen layer of our bodies. So what do you suppose happened to everybody's collagen layer levels from 2020 on? Low, low, low. And we can turn on the factories. Again, like, we have something to turn on the factories. And this also has 10 collagen peptides in it that are in a form that is readily usable for your body. So that fill up the cup method, we have that going on for you too. But it actually activates 5 peptides, and 3 of those peptides aren't even in it. Isn't that cool? Like, God's pharmacy is literally so powerful. And what he put in us is way more powerful than anything we're going to come up with. I'm telling you, way more powerful than anything you're going to find. So the buzzword right now is peptides. Anybody heard about peptides, right? Y'all heard about peptides, but we have to start with basic stuff. Back to this weight loss. That was the other thing. A ton of weight loss on this combo. But if you are stressed out, let me tell you, you're going to hold weight because your body doesn't feel safe. And when you start to feel safe and you can get stress down and your joints feel better when you're moving them, it's a lot easier to move. It's a lot easier to feel calm. It's a lot easier to rest. You hold your adjustments. Like the chiropractor's FF, less stress, hold your adjustments. Your tissues aren't having that stress in them. So your muscles, your tensions, your bones, your nervous system, everything in your body is going to be better with these on board. It's like activation and alignment. It's like my secret weapons for everybody. Like, just do it. But the thing about this as the foundation, right? Okay. We have to be able to detox and we have to have drainage, and we have to look at things in a specific order. If we just go like right to peptides, right, or right to supplementing, like you just pour it in, like, okay, so you're deficient in so and so, we're just going to pour it in. Okay, great idea, but why was I deficient in the first place? If I'm not making, okay, GLP-1, just for example, just one because you've heard of it, right? GLP-1, buzz, really big buzz. If I just inject you with GLP-1 because you have low GLP-1, or you maybe don't even know if you have low GLP-1, you just want to lose weight and that's your goal, right? We inject you with GLP-1, assuming that your GLP-1 is low. Because you're putting it in, the body makes even less of it. It's so smart. It's like, hey, we got enough. We don't need to make this. But if low GLP-1 was the problem that you were gaining weight in the first place, and we inject it, and then your body is making even less of it, what happens when we stop? And if we force the body to lose the weight when we don't have detox open, we don't have drainage open, we don't have hormone balance, we don't have a gut that's regulated, what happens, you guys? We literally, when you lose pounds, fat stores toxins. And when we lose weight, we dump those toxins into our system. So if we don't have a detox open, and we start doing the end stuff first instead of the first stuff first, we are going to have problems eventually. Let me tell you, like there's a reason why the body works the way it does, and when we try to short circuit it, it lets us know. It's like, hey girl, hey, I know what you did. I saw that, and I'm going to let you know eventually here. So I do think there's benefits to lots and lots of therapies. So I am, other than saying like, do not do such and such, do not do this. No, no. I'm just saying, like, honor your body's system and start where you need to start. We have to like do the things in certain orders. We have actually an activator for GLP-1, a natural activator that helps your body make its own GLP-1. But what I find is if your GLP-1 was low to begin with, your detox sucks. Your collagen lining sucks. You're probably stressed out. And you probably have some gut dysbiosis going on. What does that mean? Your gut's a wreck. Most of us have a wreck of a gut. It worse in the United States than Australia, but in Australia too, right? Look at what we put in our bodies. And like I said, that toxic load keeps going up and up and up and up, and we need stronger tools. So you probably have all heard of other things too, like eat the colors of the rainbows in fruits and vegetables servings every day. Like the amount of servings of vegetables and fruits they used to recommend. I mean, obviously that food pyramid was really jacked to begin with, but they've got every year, it's like more and more and more and more. And people are like, well, when do I do anything but eat fruits or vegetables? Have you ever felt that way? Anybody besides me? And then it was like super fruits, super greens, and then probiotics, prebiotics, postbiotics, digestive enzymes, apple cider vinegar, fermented things. Like how many gut products do you take? I mean, honestly, that literally, when my patients come in, it's like, how many gut products are they taking? So our gut activator, I love our gut activator because it has 10 gut products in one. But we have to get back to addressing gut health before we think about doing the end thing again. Like you just shift to one, then without addressing the other, you can have this backlog of things happening as well. But mind body, our gut activator, it's the studies, it's amazing what it does to increase GLP-1. But bigger than that is it helps create healthy blood sugar, helps with hormone balance. And the thing about weight is it's so multifactorial. It's never just like one thing. Like this is the only thing that you require doing. So what I love about peptides is they are the buzz, and there's injectables, there's pill forms, there's all of that, but they're synthetic, they're portions of things. Where is their sourcing coming from? There's so many questions and variables. And like, do you trust your influencers on Instagram more than you trust somebody else? Like, we once went from a time frame where it was like, just do what your doctor says and never, never question it, to like, you got to be your own best advocate, to like, hey, it's the biggest influencer in the world is the one I'm going to take all my advice from, right? Like, I mean, not that extreme for most of us, right? But I'm just saying, there aren't a lot of doctors that are out there like sticking, keeping up with the information that's out there. And so what are you hearing the most? Where, people are looking for answers, they're looking for solutions. And we have that in a natural way where we can help people to make those things our body once was doing. Like I said, the best self-care is cell care. And if we can get back to that, just get back to activation, start with activation, start with yellow, get them activated, and then whatever else they choose to do, it's going to be that much more beneficial. Even peptides, even synthetics, even medications, no matter what else they end up doing on top of it, that's all their choice. But if they start with activation, they're going to have that foundation set up where they're doing and getting the results from the things that they want to do. And activation, we're just looking to take something so the body will make something. Instead of just taking it and seeing what happens, we're doing something that has studies, patents, and results. And I mean, if this is your first time here and you have yet to look at how many studies we have on our products and the fact that we have patents and most natural products cannot get patented, we have multiple, 7 on this alone, 7 of its own US patents and also international patents. Put them together, we have this new patent on the 2 of these. Incredible changes. So I think the thing about it is like, prove it, right? Like, that's always the thing we want to know. We want to know, like, if I do this, will it do something for me? And that was the feeling I got, was like, wow, if this is real, like, I am going to bless so many people with activation. And I remember one of the studies on this product showed it had a p-value of 0.001. And so if 10,000 people took it, that's 3 zeros and a 1. If 10,000 people took it, 9,999 would get the anticipated result. And let me tell you, that is confidence. That is so much confidence in knowing that what is that going to mean in you? You are the one that's going to get to experience that. You are as unique as a fingerprint. Like, God made you super unique. But what I know is when we put it in the body, when we get activated, the body starts working. Things start working. They start shifting. We start to see subtle changes. Like I said at the beginning, maybe it's sleep, maybe it's energy, maybe it's recovery, maybe it's hormones, like whatever the case is, maybe it's your gut, like things are going to start to shift. Maybe it's libido, maybe it's changes in the bedroom for your spouse. Like, whatever that is for you, you hold your adjustments better. Just like, allow yourself to get that experience, to have that experience with activation, so you can really see what self-care is like for you. I know we're getting close to time too, Rhonda. If there's anything else you wanted me to cover specifically, I can talk all day on these. So,
personally, I just love everything you said, and I'm just as passionate, but not everyone wants to hear me barking on, because I have been shouting these products, these activators, from the rooftops for nearly 7.5 years. And the whole reason I actually came on board was because I already knew the science, and I thought I'd try it for myself within 3 days. And we are not here to say we claim to cure, mitigate, reverse, diagnose, or anything, but my adrenal fatigue was gone after 3 days. Years and years of stress of recovering my son, he was level 3, severely autistic, took me a long time. That's why I started to study. That's why I opened up my clinic, but I burnt the candle at both ends. And I was teaching people how to recover their health, how to recover children. And it got to the point where I could not even get into my own clinic. Seriously, my hair, you were talking about hair, my hair was falling out. My husband would complain because the drains were blocked. Really, seriously. And my hair, it's the best it's ever been. So I just wanted to, I don't want to geek out too much on the science, but I love the science. When I noticed the studies coming through showing that when you swallow that little yellow pill, it starts with yellow. With this, it reduces inflammatory markers, cellular stress by 97%. That blew my mind because, at the risk of sounding like I'm full of myself, I'm very good at what I do as a functional nutritional therapist using food, supplementation, etc. As you can see, I have everything at my disposal. I was taking everything, but I was not getting the same results. And when I've incorporated all of these products, they make me as a health professional look like a legend because it's accelerating the results so much faster. So I just want to say thank you so much. We could go on and on about, how we're activating peptides. You don't have to, do injections. If you want to, that's fine, but get activated first because this is going to accelerate your results. So I just say thank you so much for your time. I know it's the evening there. I don't want to hold you up any longer, but yeah, if you have any questions, please go back to the person who was kind enough to invite you to this or to share the recording with you. They can go through and answer any questions. If you're like us and you're thinking of the 11.8 million people who this could support, right? Everyone deserves to know what is out there. It's a smorgasbord of information. They can take it or leave it. But if you are like us and you're thinking of other people that this might help, blah, 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 then again, reach out because we would love to partner with you because we have not even reached 1% of the population. People deserve to know that there's options out there and that there's natural and it's backed by robust science because I can rest assured myself and Dr. Bueller would not be here if it was not backed by robust science, if it was not natural. So yes, thank you so much for your time. Everyone, please show your love in the chat. Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Jessica, and stay around for the Q&A and we'll see how we can support you further. Have a wonderful evening. Bye.